about being out of integrity and out of alignment.
Mm,
And so that's when we're talking about being out of sync or being out of it's a literally a misstep between what I'm trying to do and the result that I'm expecting is another way of looking at it. And there's a couple of points that I'd love to touch on here. One is actually being out of sync with what, right? And so if we actually think there's a lot of FOMO in our world. We're
mm,
surrounded by social media. We're surrounded by people that we walk past in the grocery store, or drive past on the street. And what we're doing is we're looking at their results and we're filtering it through our own story of what it means for them to be driving that car or wearing that outfit or putting that video out on social media, having this many followers, whatever your trigger around FOMO is, or whatever your definition of success is. I can call that shallow modeling because you don't see the rest of the iceberg. You're only seeing the very tip. And that tip is being run through your dirty glasses, right? Of your own filter. And so there's this sense of, I should. I should be doing that. I should be more. I should be. That is one of the real symptoms of being out of sync because you are not in alignment with where you are and where you are going because you think you should be somewhere else. Does that make sense, Shades? Like had that first trigger
yeah.
around that. And then there's also this sense of manage your expectations. You talked about disappointment. Disappointment comes from expectations not being met, right? So were your expectations real? Were they based on some shallow modeling of what you think you should be doing somewhere else? And also, are you being honest with yourself? And I think that's where the biggest out of syncness comes from is you actually not being honest with what you want, what life is actually like for you, what you're willing to do to change and what you're not willing to do, where your non-negotiables are. And again, if I would challenge you to look at anyone that you're out there in the world inspired by, envious of, whatever label you want to put around it, and ask yourself honestly, are you willing to do what it takes and sacrifice what it takes to live that life? Because I'm probably saying no, because otherwise you would be, right? There's other things that have been more important to you right now.